We teach to the kids and we make the curriculum meet the needs of the kids as opposed to teaching what the curriculum says we have to when we have to. So we can meet those needs and find different ways to teach them, and so there's a lot more flexibility to meet those individual needs and just do what research says is best practice for their learning. My favorite thing about teaching kindergarten and little kids in general is just their love of learning. They're very passionate, very excitable, and they just want to get as much information as they can, and so they just absolutely love learning. I graduated in '93 and began teaching, started the preschool program over at McLeod Academy, which is now called Summit Schools. Developed that program, marketed, hired the staff, that kind of thing. And then also taught kindergarten, first grade for them. And then for about 5 years I was home with my own kiddos because we continued to have more. And that was just my heart's desire at that time, to be home with our own children. After about 5 years though, I had somebody contact me and ask me to work one-on-one with their student, and spent 6 years with him in special ed then, and that's how I ended up here. I love the flexibility that we have to be able to meet the kids' needs and to teach to the individuals as opposed to the curriculum. I love that they're allowed to be kids in kindergarten, and that we can focus that attention on self-regulation and those kind of things that are such important and valuable skills for not only school but for life, and so that we can focus on those things as opposed to making sure we get through that curriculum and that kind of thing. We still are teaching the skills, it just doesn't look the same as it would in other situations. So for example, it's not necessarily just sitting and doing a worksheet or practicing their sight word cards and those kind of things, that we can do activities where we are moving and active in learning those things. So rather than just sitting and writing paper, pencil, and practicing their letters, we're going to do it with sensory input, so in sand or in shaving cream and those kind of things. So using that multi-sensory approach, using whole body, so rather than, again, writing in paper and pencil, we're making the movement with our whole body. We know through learning that there's 3 modalities of learning, so you can take things in visually, kinesthetically, or auditorily. And so with Orton Gillingham, they're utilizing all 3 of those, and so when you utilize all 3, then it really gets it to stick in their brains so much better. So what you could expect coming into the education at Cedar Valley is that we really look at each individual and challenge them individually. So I really try to help kiddos figure out what is their strength in learning and what works for them and what doesn't. And so we can see kiddos that have a greater need for movement and those kind of things. So helping them to find ways that they can get that without being disruptive to other kiddos and those kind of things. So meeting those sensory needs. Research shows that one of the things that kiddos need to be successful all the way through school is self-regulation and so we give them lots of opportunities through play then to develop those skills. And so within centers we limit the number of kids that can go to their centers, and so sometimes that can be very disappointing for a child, and learning how to handle and manage that, and or if there's a conflict and how to resolve those conflicts on their own and not require the teacher. So we really try to teach them that responsibility and self-control and things themselves instead of me controlling it all for them. We do have a section of the day that we do our Bible curriculum. And so we meet every single day with that. But in addition to that, then we do tie it into our lessons throughout the entire day and give them that biblical worldview on things. We always start our morning with prayer. and we sit down together. Some days we do a whole group prayer. Some days it is prayer partners where they meet with each other and pray for each other. As things come up through the day and conflicts or those kind of things, we will stop and pray in those situations as well with them. And so we pull it in as much as we can throughout the day.